Where's Ed South looking for KB6RQU? And here I am, K6MYC, running the Bozo Net on 432, looking south and listening for check-ins anywhere. K6MYC standing by.
KE6VG, Visalia, 1251.
Well, hi, Robert. KE6VG, I should say, 1251. Nice signal here on 432. I'm always amazed how good you sound on this band. We must have a pipeline here, perfect antenna height on your end. It's a knife edge thing. I've got a very, very minute knife edge over the hills on the other side of Middleton Lake here. But booming signal, KE6VG and others perhaps, K6MYC. What's up?
Well, I can't wait to get my Yagi up to see if it does any better, because this is only 70 watts.
Yeah, well, this is only 700 plus 3.
150 here, 711, K6MI.
711, good evening, John.
KC5DTU, 712.
11, 12, 13. We don't have a 713, but we'll take 712.
Roger, roger. If are you going to be clear tomorrow?
As far as I know, I'm clear every day. I slept all day today. You would have interrupted my sleep, but that would have been better. I wouldn't have been able to sleep during the night. I was awake till 5 this morning. I finally went to sleep and slept between 5 and 8. And then I got up and went back to sleep again. Yeah, I'll be here. It'd be wonderful. I did think about you today, and I thought, well, he's been busy all week. Maybe it's just too much to get up here anymore. Over.
Never too much to get there, but I'm gonna give it a real good try tomorrow. Got a couple of things, and I'll give you a call in the morning.
Yeah, that'll be super. I'm trying to think. Let's see. I had one important phone call to make and pay a bill. I finally got that done. God, it's wonderful dealing with AI. I had to call a dermatologist that had done a biopsy on me that had actually occurred about a week before the end of last year. And so when I saw the bill, it came in this year. So I assumed it should have been paid by my insurance company. But it was based on the old insurance company's timing. Anyway, long story short, I had to pay the bill. So I finally got their number and called them up. Talked to Angie, the AI person, and she said, okay, who is this? And I gave her my name and what's your date of birth and your phone number, and she repeated my phone number back, but she left the last digit off. Now it's 5105. She left 510. How can they understand and have a brain that you know every phone number's always got 3 digits, and then 4? And I kept saying, no, it's not right. So finally I got that corrected, and then she went through a whole bunch of questions, and she said, okay, I'm looking your thing up, and I'm going to put you. She said, I'll be looking this up, and I hear the phone is hooked up to something that I can hear people talking in the background, and yet I'm really talking to AI. And eventually, after about 5 minutes, the phone went dead. She accidentally hung up on me. So I started the whole procedure over again. Same thing again. She got my phone number wrong the next time. This was funny. It just went on and on. Finally, same thing happened again, and I don't know whether I hung up or whatever, but I had to hang up because I just couldn't get them to give me an operator. Finally, I called the third time, and I managed to get Angie right off the bat rather than go through that whole rat race again to get me to an operator. And I finally got it taken care of, but it was horrible. to pay $55 bill. Took me about 25 minutes. KC5D to you in a group, K6MYC.
Roger, roger. You're supposed to say, ain't AI great?
Yeah. Well, I did leave them with a little bit of comment about Angie, or whatever her name was. I said, Angie's got to have a little more training. She ain't working right. Anyway, it was kind of funny. And then I got, Angie had perfect English, of course, and that was nice. And finally, the human I got was all, somebody foreign with a pretty strong accent, but I managed to muddle through that. Over.
Roger, roger. Remind me, I'll tell you the story about trying to order some dog food for my puppy and dealing with AI. I tell you, it leaves a lot to be desired there, Michael, and I'll let you get on with the net.
Okay, and the last question from your AI person and ordering your dog food is, what was the name of your elephant again?
I didn't have an elephant, my puppy.
No, I'm saying that's the last question that she asked you. What was the name of your elephant again?
Pretty much.
Where did you want those bananas sent?
AJ6PD 1237.
Hey, hi, Tony. KD6, KG, no, what? Give it to me phonetically. I'm never sure of your prefix, Tony. AD6PD, isn't it?
Alpha Juliet 6 Papa Delta. Alpha Juliet 6 Papa Delta 1237.
Yeah, I got the number okay. But there's so many letters now that can come after the first alpha, beta, alpha Charlie, alpha Delta, alpha Echo, alpha Foxtrot, alpha Golf. You're clear up to Juliet already. Next thing will be Alpha Lima, and then we'll have to move you to Alaska. Anyway, we got you. Good evening, and Frank is still very much down with a very, very infected jaw. He's been back to the dentist several times trying to get his jaw unaffected. He's got very deep infections in the jowl area, and that's gone into the bone, and he's having no end of fun. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, well, just pray for him and hope he gets to feeling better.
Well, he's going to be down here tomorrow, he says. He's got to see the dentist today. And hopefully the dentist, all he's got to do is, these cuts in his jaw, they had to take on a lot of old rotting teeth and bone pieces and broken teeth that he's been chewing on for many years. This has gone on way longer than it should have. So he had a real mess in his mouth, and it's obviously the dentist knows what he's doing, but he just, little bits of food get down in there, and Frank can't get them out, and then they start to rot and get infected. So that's what he's fighting. He didn't say that his back was bothering him. I guess the back is because he's down with the other thing. The back is getting better. Anyway, we'll see him tomorrow, and maybe I can have him stop by and see you someday over the weekend here. Anyway, good evening to you, Tony. AJ6PD and the group K6MYC Bozo Net looking for KB6RQU.
Whiskey 6 Papa Echo 620.
I hear 620. Good evening, Mike.
3-2.
Mike, sounded.
Had two of you there. Hang on.
So I just wanted to get in there, give a shout, make sure I got down. So you say you got one more number on the list.
You're on the list, 620. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Mike. Not real strong on this band, but I may have you in a pattern null off the back of the antenna here. Main thing is we're copying you, and somebody else was in there with you, so there must have been another check-in. Go ahead, the other check-in. Or was that you, Rob?
That's our number 432.
That's who it was. And how about Candy? Is she there?
Not now, but expected pretty soon, so you could probably put her on there. Was that Mike up there in Oakhurst, 620?
Yeah, that was Oakhurst. I guess your bar burned down, Mike. I guess you're not going to be able to go to the bar there. What's the one? No, that's not in Oakhurst. I don't know where that one is. I always think of the bar that was in Mariposa. That street in my mind, the street that runs through Mariposa and the one that runs through Oakhurst, they sort of run in the same direction, and I always get these two towns mixed up because of that. But I guess you had quite a fire at your local bar there, huh? Okay, W6PE, did you copy that, Mike?
Yep, I did. I was kind of moving the antenna around, seeing if I could get a little better copy. So I wanted to make sure I got it back to a place where I get you a little
1284.
signal. Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got you. I moved my antenna and got you out of that deep null. Anyway, you didn't comment on the bar. What was the name of the saloon up there?
Honestly, I don't know. I think I've only been to one bar in town, and one time in 20 years. I can't really remember what the name it is.
Oh, I thought you'd know the name of the bar and all the ladies that served you. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, they got the fire out, but before the building burned to the ground. But it turned out to be it got burned so badly that they said it was useless. And they're probably going to have to push it over or destroy it anyway to start over if they're going to do that. Anyway, you're going to be without one saloon for a week. I guess you can probably put up with that. Good evening, Mike. W6 Papa Echo, over to you, Rob. Good evening, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike, thank you. Yeah, I heard Darren in there, K6OSX. Also, we do have a 713. He's up in, what is it here? Orville, so we don't hear him very often. KD6SX. Anyway, back to net, KM6SR.
What's OSX's number?
Oh, Darren is K6OSX, 1284. I heard him check in. You can hear him probably.
Did I hear you, Darren? K6OSH, K6MYC.
226 is here.
195 is here.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mike. This is Kilo 6, Officer Sierra X-Ray, Darren and Clovis. And I think the bar was Skyline. One of my coworkers was up there, and he told me this morning that it burnt down to the ground.
Yeah. What was your number again? 1284?
Roger. 1284. Over.
Yeah. Always a good idea to give it to me for sure. I know that I can get it from Rob, and usually I remember it, but it's always a good idea to give it to me from your lips. That way it's recorded on the stream, and that's helpful. But mostly I just want to hear it for a refresher in my mind. So there you go. Good to hear you. And good evening to you, Ken, WA6OIB, and also Mike. With all the fires, I'm surprised you're home, Mike. Over. And 6BYH. I checked in and checked out already. All right, over to you, Ken. Good evening. And you've been busy. I don't know how far along you guys got with when you were in with Scott, but I think we've got a plan, and won't be too long before we'll both have some very nice 1296 preamps here. Over.
Yeah, K6MYC and the gang, WA6OIB 226 is here. Yeah, Scott and I worked together on them a little bit. We had to modify them, cut the battery out, and we have to turn them on and off with the USB. So that's going to be, a little bit of a challenge to get 5 volts up the antenna line. But we can do that, and I think they'll be real nice. We tested them, a good 20 to 22 dB, and very good noise figure. So, As long as we protect them, I think they'll be a real good preamp. And I have somebody else here that wants to check in. Stand by a second.
This is KG6QNY 1091.
Well, hi there, Marcus.
Hi there, Mike, and hi, Rob.
Long time no hear.
Hi, Marcus.
You been having trouble finding the mic button, have you?
Haven't been the conditions of my doctors, what they're doing, haven't been by the radio. So you're right, it's taken its toll, but we're there, and we just got through having a dinner over here.
Okay, very good. I missed a little bit of it. You said you've had an inflection and you've been going to the doctor a lot.
Yeah, that's affirmative. It's something that we've had growing continually for years now, and so certain times they want to start seeing me more regular.
I got you. Okay, very good. Well, good to hear you tonight there. And Ken, back over to you. Let's do this before you finish. One way or the other, I don't want to run I don't have 5 volts anywhere. Just set it up for 12 volts and put a 7805 regulator in the box. Let's do it that way. Take the extra. I'm sure they'll find a place to bolt down a 7805 in there. If you've got a wire coming in, run it over to that. Put a 7805 in there. I think we probably should have some in stock there. That way everything is standard and it's not a bastard preamp. Every other preamp, every other line I've got has all got 12 volts on it going up. I always do that. Most of the other preamps built in the world have the regulator built in over.
KM6 SRR.
WA60IB here. I think that's what he had in mind. I didn't elaborate, but we were talking about that. And I'm the same way. I've got 12 volts running up here and there, so I've got that. But I think he's already planning on doing that. I will check in the morning, though. I will make sure, because we did talk about it, but I don't remember us confirming everything. So I'll make sure. And I do want him to make those two identical. So if we want to do any more, then we'll have a nice blueprint for it, so to speak. So, and good evening to Rob up there and everyone else. Yeah, Marcus and I had a little dinner over here tonight and visiting and whatnot, having a nice time. So, WA60IB, Northern Clovis, back to net.
Okay, very good. By the way, that preamp could be pressed into service on 902, I would imagine, and it also going to have a good noise figure all the way down to 2 meters, but it could be used at 432. Well, wherever you need it and wherever it's most important at the moment. Of course, their design is for, and there's no real anything in there that says it has to go through 1296. It's a broadband device, as I recall. So it could work on 902. I was thinking up for the contest, I might just stick it up there on 902 here, and that way I got good ears on 902 for what it's worth. All 3 stations that are going to work. WA60IB, and then back you take it, send it to Rob, K6MYC.
Yeah, very good. Okay, go ahead, Rob.
Yes, I just wanted to say I had to buy 5 of those, I think it's the 705 regulator boards. It's all nice little package here on a board. I've got an extra one that you could use there. I'm planning on using this on making up one for 1296, 432, and 222. So I should have 2 left over. I'd like to keep one for a spare, but anyway, that's the way they came. So if you want to try that, you can. KM6SR.
What do you mean, try what?
I bought 5 little regulator boards that convert the voltage from somewhere around 12 volts plus or minus down to 5 volts. And I just put that up there with the preamp, and you got it covered.
Oh, okay. You bought regulator board, but generally it's just a 7805, which just screws down, and you can flying lead over to the input and output of it. But whatever's convenient. It matters not. Once it's in there, it won't be bothered. 7805 is a classic 3-terminal regulator that's been around for 100 years, Rob. That's why I mentioned that. That's the fastest, easiest way to do it. and they're about 8 cents a piece, I think, aren't they, Ken? Over.
Yeah, in quantity. They're about $1 a piece. You know, if you buy small quantity, if you buy 100 of them, like we do sometimes at M Squared, well, they're pretty cheap there then. Okay, very good. We'll carry on with the net. WA60IB. Yeah,
I was just kidding you. But whatever they cost, it's no biggie. They've been around forever. You can get 7805, 7808s, 7812s, and 7824s even are available. So you have regulator chips that are all the same, but they all have different voltages that they take a higher voltage in and put out whatever their number is. So they're easy to keep track of. That was one of the most logical semiconductor devices you'll ever find. All right, good evening, and let's call again for Rick down there and see if he's going to wake up. We understand that Ben was going to call him today and try and get a hold of him and remind him about the net. We assume Ben did that. Well, we assume also that it didn't work because he hasn't checked in here yet. And I'd like to hear what's going on. Anybody have any word on Bill, AA6S? Is he sick?
727.
Oh, there's 727. Okay, well, you could give us an update on Bill. We haven't heard Bill now for a week.
Well, he's sick.
What's he got?
I don't know, the crud. Who knows?
Well, that's too bad. He doesn't have doesn't have the one, the crud that runs. Does he have that one?
No, he sounded pretty congested. Sounded like the crap I had during the last week coughing. It didn't sound too hot.
Oh, your Bodnar just dropped out of the lock, and I didn't get that. It changed frequency enough. It was difficult to copy over.
Okay, that's weird. I haven't had that happen on 432. He's got a pretty bad cough and congested, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. We knew there had to be something going on there because he usually checks in, particularly on 1296 night, and you didn't make 1296 night either. But I know you had a UPS guy that was taking your time up there. All righty, good to hear you, Mike. Hopefully you're feeling a little better from your crud.
I'm getting better, that's for sure. Headaches has gone way down since I'm blowing all sorts of crap out my sinuses, so that's feeling better.
Well, your big concern was that it had dropped down into your chest. I had that, I guess, kind of the same thing. My sinuses on one side was draining, and it was continually aggravating one spot of my throat, and kept going into the upper bronchial, which makes you sound funny when you breathe. It's a little flap of phlegm that flutters. Boy, is that annoying. It's not as bad as it seems, but you sure want to get it up out of there. Anyway, good to hear you, Mike. WA6AAJ, K6MYC. Okay, KB6RQU, last call for a minute. K6MYC. Anybody else?
Hey, Mike, K6MYC. You're just too fast for me on the mic there. I was trying to help you, but I give up. KM6SR, standing by.
Help me with what?
We were talking about the regulator, I thought, and then you started going on about some other stuff there, so you stepped on me again, so I'm just going to be listening. KM6SRR.
Okay. Well, what was it, your comment that I didn't get? I think I heard everything that you said. It's a little regulator board that you were buying over.
WA60IB. What he's got is somebody built a little board with a 7805 and threw some caps and stuff in there though. They're not necessary, like you say. We just use a 7805 and it's fine. As long as the voltage going up is pretty clean DC, you got no problem. But he's got one that's kind of a, universal. If you got kind of lousy DC going in, it'll clean it up a bit and whatnot. That's all he was saying. It was more than just a regulator. It's a little board, probably not much bigger than the 7805, probably about the same basic size. I've seen them, but I've never used them. I just use the 7805 by itself.
Yeah, and probably a couple of chip capacitors. It's sometimes the earlier 7805s used to take off every now and then, so they did recommend a 0.1 or a 0.01 or something on the terminals to ground. But that, I just tacked that one on. You've got the middle terminals ground, so it's easy to just tack on a little chip or a disc capacitor between 1 and 2 and 3 and 2, over. Anyway, it's covered either way, so thanks for that, Rob. I understood about what you were saying about the board. And the only thing I didn't know was what the physical size of it was. But, okay. One more call, KB6RQU.
What kind of filtering are you guys using on those preamps?
You mean an RF filter?
Yeah, you putting, those little low noise preamps. Are you putting any kind of RF filter on the front end?
Not at this point. If you have a serious problem in your area with something very strong, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But right now, they seem to be very, very good in terms of handling outside power without cross-mudding and desensing and all that. So most people have not put. The problem with putting a little filter ahead is you got to be very careful of the filter that you don't introduce more than even a couple of tenths of loss, take some of your sensitivity away. They have a 0.4 dB noise figure all the way up, and particularly that at 1296. And boy, if you go to 0.5 dB noise figure, that's only a tenth of a dB in noise figure, but it could be as much as 1 dB in receiver sensitivity loss, over.
Okay, yeah, what are you guys using for relays?
Ken, give him the number of it's a Dow key. It's a double pole, double throw relay with 4 ports. The internal port that you would, the other 2 ports that you would normally jumper for 2 high power relays in series is internally jumped. So you only have 4 ports. So 2 ports are jumped together for straight through operation, over. It's a beautiful thing. It has 85 or more dB of isolation even at 1296, over.
Are those the ones that have are they SMA?
Oh no, these are N's.
Okay, so they'll handle legal limit.
Well, there's different power limitations for the frequency, but they handle, I think they're rated at 800 watts at 1296 and much more down below.
Okay, yeah. No, I've seen the boards. I ordered several a couple months ago, and I have like 5 or 6 of them sitting here, the low noise ones, and those 7805 little boards also, because you can order those on AliExpress for $4 an amplifier. So the ones that are encased in with the cover on top of them, and then the 7805 board is like $1.25.
I think the preamp board by itself is typically $10 to $11, depending on what you buy. So if you got yours at 4, it may not be the same one.
Yeah, no, I have the same one, but I ordered it from China directly, not from Amazon.
Okay. Is this Robert?
Yeah, this is Robert, KE6VG.
Well, Ken here, WA60IB, is very familiar with it. He's working with it. They're building up a couple for me and for him at the plant. And we're using the little preamp now exclusively for the stuff that we're doing at the plant when we make low noise preamps for the customer. Sometimes we make specialized preamps like that for to go along with our feed horns and stuff. And I understand that Scott, my engineer, is using them exclusively. They really like them. They're really sturdy, good gain, good noise figure, all the way up to about 4 gigahertz before they start to crap out. Isn't that about it, Ken?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They're pretty good. They're meaty, and they seem to be hanging in there pretty well. And he's really liking them. We were playing with him with the network analyzer and fussing around with him and this and that the other day, and so he's real impressed.
Yeah. And what a change from the old days. I can remember I bought a LNA for 3.5 for my dad, an LNA to go with the 8-foot dish that I put in the back of his trailer at the trailer park, so he would have enough good signal to noise ratio for TVRO. And I paid $2,000 for that LNA. Over.
Yeah, how about that? And these are $17.
Yeah, I think they're 11.
Oh, okay, they've come down then. Last I saw, there were 17 apiece. Of course, that was in small quantities. He's probably buying bigger quantities and might get a break.
I don't know. The ones that you and I got came from Dave, WA6LOL. Dave, are you here? He should be here somewhere. Anyway, let's move on, and we'll keep this going. But good information for everybody, I'm sure, on the band here. But Ken knows the thing. He's using them. Rob has got a couple, so he's familiar with it also, and the hookups and all the little boards that come with it. So if you need more information, it's available that way. But we've tested them at the plant with our noise figure meter, and they consistently come out at about 0.4 of a dB noise figure, which is really spectacular in the big picture. Over. Talking to you, Robert.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I gave Bill a board. He was going to put one on one of his receivers that he had, and we should put it on the spectrum analyzer and see what the noise figure is with the boards that I got.
Spectrum analyzer won't tell you the noise figure. You actually have to use a noise figure meter, but that's okay. They measure pretty much every one of them's the same. They're very consistent. It's a little, I guess, an LD. Is it a what is that device in there? Would you call it an LD MOS or what is it, Ken?
Yeah, it's not an LD MOS. I've lost the term now. TC. Oh man. Senior moment.
That's all right if you think of it, but yeah, it's a real good low noise. It's probably a family of the family. Over.
Yeah, right. Well, to let Robert know, the reason you got to measure it with a noise figure meter, the noise figure meter generates its own known amount of noise, this and that. Everything's all in a loop. And if you try and use a spectrum analyzer, you're not going to measure. You're going to measure noise floor, but not the noise figure. So if you want noise figure, you got to use a noise figure meter, generate a known amount of noise, and then measure it. Oh, that's how you work that way. So anyway, just as a word of explanation there. WA60IB.
There you go, Robert. But in all honesty, it's probably not worth the effort to go ahead and measure or try to figure out the noise figure meter. They seem to be very, very consistent. Every one that I know that's been measured is 4/10, at least at 1296, and even better a little bit by that. Usable all the way down to 2 meters. The moon bouncers on 2 meters are using them even. Over.
Okay. Yeah. No. So the board I got was the one that has that 0.6 dB noise figure chip on it. That special chip that they're using for it. I'm assuming it's the same one that you guys got, right?
I don't know. I can't read it. I've seen them, but I can't know because I have no eyes. If you can give Ken the number, the part number, the one you have, he could probably confirm it. It's what we're buying. Over.
I got to run into the other room and grab a board.
Okay. Just call in when you're free. I'm going to go over toward Santa Cruz from here. As long as we're still here, one more call toward toward Lake Isabella. KB6RQU, Rick, K6MYC before we go to Santa Cruz. Nothing heard. Here we go.
K6US.
Oh, hi, Aaron. Two numbers for you, 1076 and 1100.
Nope, 1079 and 1100. You were close. Yeah, you had too much traffic there at the beginning of the net, so I just waited. But yeah, and well, then I was kind of halfway paying attention to the 49er preseason football game. But other than that, there's not too much else going on. K6US.
Oh, okay, who are they playing?
They're playing the Chargers down in LA, and because it's preseason, of course, they're pulling the feed from LA, so you basically have to listen to the Chargers announcers, which is kind of annoying, but anyways.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let me continue to rotate. I stopped at a Tascadero here, which is a good heading for you.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is KE6VG. So the board is an S, what does it say here? SP something F, 5189Z or X or something like that.
Does that sound familiar, Ken? Nope. Sure where Ken went off to. Maybe in the background there. Are you in the background in the shack, or did you get called for dinner, Ken? I don't think we have a 10-meter net today, do we, Rob?
That's on Wednesdays.
How about Kilo 6, Victor Bravo Golf 971?
We'll take you. You're sounding good.
Thank you. I don't know how good. Sitting there gasping for oxygen.
Yeah, it still wasn't much under 100 today, was it?
Well, it's still 90 degrees or more out here right now.
Okay, well, good to hear you here. I haven't heard Daryl yet, KG6 Charlie Echo Fox. Daryl, are you here? Well, he's the only one that's missing, I guess. And Dane, of course, but Dane's up at Shaver. Okay, let me continue on towards Santa Cruz. They'll probably be wondering where the hell we are here. Okay. Alpha Foxtrot 6 United and KW6S, K6MYC and the Bozo Net. Anybody? Well, I heard 610, but you might be on the wrong amplifier or the wrong antenna because your system kicked out. KW6S, K6MYC, waiting for you to reset.
Yeah, I need to reset something here. I'm working, but maybe once in a while. So I'll give it a try, and I'll see what else I can come up with here. K6MYC, KW6S.
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty badly. It's a complete open when you break up. It does. I don't hear it going weak. So you've got a bad joint somewhere, or a loose mic connection or something. Anyway, we copied you. We got you. I don't hear Lee in here, but let me give another call over to Lee, and you can see if you can figure out what's broken or loose there. KW6S with Alpha Foxtrot 6 United in Watsonville area, K6MYC. Okay, I don't hear Lee tonight. Ken, are you back to say hello to Tom? Okay. And with that intermittent signal, you probably didn't get a chance to tune in on him, did you, Rob? Rob's down eating, I guess. Okay. You could try it again, Tom, and we'll let you know if it sounds any better. At first, it was really weak and really broken up, and the longer you talked, the cleaner it got. Over.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on here. At first, it wasn't even lighting up the amp, but it seems to be doing so now. Somehow it's a little different, but I'll have to do a little more troubleshooting here and make sure everything's okay. K6MYC, KW6S.
Okay, well, my gut says that as you talk longer, it gets better, and talk harder. So you're wetting a bad joint with the RF. You're wetting it and making the current flow RF flowing, but it's being wetted by the arcing. So that's kind of what I would think. It's somewhere between the driver and the amp, or the output of the amplifier, but it sounds like maybe it's between the amp and the driver. So that's the only clue I can give you. I assume you're hard keying the amp. You're not RF keying. It almost sounds like that same problem somebody had the other day. I'm trying to remember who it was. I guess it was Dave. Dave had the same problem, sounded exactly like yours, and he had forgotten to plug in the key line to the new transverter, so the transverter was trying to RF key. It has the capability to RF key, but he wasn't driving it hard enough to keep it on. Over.
Doing okay on drawing current, so I'm hoping everything is actually okay. I'm not getting any excessive amount of reflected power. Of course, on 432, if it's somewhere besides the first 50 or 100 feet of line, it probably wouldn't show up. Anyway, I'll troubleshoot it and let you get on with the net and report back on Sunday night. K6MYC, KW6S.
Okay, well, it stayed in there, but your breakup now is only maybe 10 milliseconds. So your voice is almost continuous, but I can tell still it's dropping out. But that's why you're not seeing it on the meter. The meter is so slow that it's not seeing the dropouts. Over.
Yeah, I've got another thing. I was messing around and with something else today, and I need to check and see if I did something that with the keying here. But I'll dig in and I'll check it out, and hopefully I'll have it fixed by next week.
Yeah, on the last transmission, it was so minimal that it almost sounded like a little motorboating from multipath or something. But I still get the impression that if you let it cool for a second, it would go back and start to break up continually. So it still sounds like something that you're wetting the contact and making it conduct on a long syllable, and then it drops out again. All right, good enough. Good to hear you anyway. Have a good weekend, and I'm sure by the time we get to Sunday, you'll have found it and then some. Hi. 7-3. The KW6S, one more call for you, Lee, AF6 United, K6MYC, over. anybody. So let's go up here to the Bay Area. Let's see. KD6SOK, you should be in there somewhere, Fred. K6KLY. AB6BA. We do talk so long, you guys thought the net was over, did you?
Hey, I'll jump in. Kilo Alpha 6, Mike Zulu Echo.
Oh, KA6MZE. Good to hear you. Refresh my memory. I know who you are. I remember you just checked in the other day, but I can't remember the name or the number. Over.
No problem there. Name is Phil, Papa Hotel India Lima, and my number is 1111.
Oh, yeah. 1111. I was waiting for the 111 to check in before the 1111 there. What was the handle? I forgot.
Name is Phil, Papa Hotel India Lima. I think it's Phil, Papa Hotel India Lima.
Yeah, you faded out on me. It's either Peter or something with Papa Echo, but I couldn't get it. You dropped out. Let me see if I can find a peak on you. Give me another call for 15 seconds. I'll see if I can bring your signal up. Over.
Okay. Name is Phil, Papa Hotel India Lima. Currently in south of Cupertino in Saratoga, right next to Stevens Creek Reservoir. I think you're familiar with that. And I'm mobile at rest right now on my HO antenna, my Ho antenna. And last week I checked in with my 11 element beam, but I thought I'd give it a shot with the Ho antenna on top of my truck.
Oh, you're doing fine. I just had to point at you. This should be a lot stronger, and you're very Q5 now, Phil. Good to hear you. Thanks for being patient. When I move the antenna up sometimes, see, I have 3 different rotors for 3 different parts of calling Bozo Nets on different bands, and there's small offsets, small errors in the pointing, and I also find that from one band to the next, even if the 3 rotors were absolutely identical, I find that sometimes a signal that's fairly small, as yours is, would be coming from multiple different directions. And that's why it's a little confusing. So that's why I sometimes have to have a little signal from you to peak on you. When I first hear you check in, I'm more concerned about hearing anything and getting a beginning identifier than I am about tweaking on you. So, but we got you tuned in good shape now. You're the only one up there. So maybe you can make a call and see if you can get any other bodies out of the woodwork there. WA6MZE, K6MYC, over.
Okay, actually, Mike, it's Kilo Alpha 6. Mike Zulico, Kilo Alpha 6. And, yeah, I'm not hearing anyone else on the South Bay here. On there, maybe anyone else on the South Bay on the Bozo Net tonight?
Yes, there is one other station. Yes, okay. Good evening, Mike. That's the other station. I can't remember I know the call sign, I don't remember the name. That's okay.
I hear you, Fred. KD6SOK, KA6MZE in your backyard there, over.
QSL. Had a fog move in and the windy and it's really nice. Actually, so the breeze is coming through. Anyway, I heard the other gentleman there. Good evening to you. Name is Fred. So good to hear everyone on tonight, Mike, and hopefully you didn't have too hot of a day down there in Fresno.
I'm beginning to wonder if this intermittent isn't on my end. You're a little bit broken up, and that's not normal for you, Fred. I don't know whether it's just the band or what's going on, but I'm copying you, but you're sounding like Tom down there. He had the same thing. He was sounded like part of each word was missing. Just 10 milliseconds here and 20 milliseconds there were dropping out. Over.
Yeah, QSL. You know what it looks like? So when you were talking just now, it It looks like the band's going up and down. It's very fluttery. For some reason, the people drop out there and come right down. Drop out and come right back.
Yeah, well, I may have a problem here. Maybe something in the antenna system is bad here. I've got another antenna, but I don't know where it's pointed right now. And I'm not going to mess with it for the Bay Area. I'll try to test with somebody local here in a minute.
Okay, Mike, well, I'll let you go. The signal is very soft tonight, so there's something going on with the band, I guess. So, but anyway, good to hear you. And good to hear the other gentlemen as well. So I'll see you next week, Mike.
Okay, good to hear you, Fred. Didn't hear you last night, so again, apparently your 2-meter noise is back. That's sad to hear. Hi. All right, take care. Have a good weekend. And I guess you guys are not too warm over there. We're running about 100 here. It's going to be floating around 100 to 102 to 105, and then back to 90, 99, 98. Who could care? But they make a big deal when it goes up into 3 digits versus 2 digits. Fred, over.
Yeah, I hear you, boy. 100-degree plus is kind of hot there. That's pretty warm. Yeah, it was a nice day out here. I think it's maybe get just under 80 degrees, which is nice. Yeah. Peter Francis last night. It was the noise was like an S9. It was just so bad. I just turned it off. I tried it a couple times. Listened a couple times. But the 2-meter band was totally wrecked last night, so I don't even bother with things like that. All right, Mike. Thank you for Stephanie. C6S okay. 7-3.
Okay, very good, Fred. 7-3. I know about the frustration of having to listen to something through an S9 noise level. That's terrible on 2 meters. 7-3. Anybody else in the Bay Area, please? K6MYC, over.
This is Kilo 6, Whiskey India Sierra, Placerville.
Okay, I got you, Paul. K6WIS, K6MYC, 637. And you may even have 2 other check-ins for me, right?
Negative, Mike, not tonight. Your signal is 5x3, pretty good bounce pass, but no other chickens, just myself, over.
Yeah, well, I moved it a little bit more toward Diablo and you came up, so at least some of the path is coming off of Diablo or somewhere up that way. This should be a little better. You're a good copy here. Okay, no Clear Lake tonight. But it's funny, we've been missing you on 2 meters. Have you got something broken on 2 because you haven't checked in on any of the 2-meter nets, over?
Yeah, K6MYC, this is K6WIS. I don't usually check in on the 2-meter net. I do the 222, the 6-meter, and the 1296. I usually skip the 2-meter net, over.
Yeah, well, that's not a problem. I just... I know you're home, and I keep expecting to hear you on the bounce path, and I don't hear you. And we were a little light yesterday. We didn't even get up to 40. Didn't even get 40 check-ins, and we're a little light in the Bay Area again tonight. We had 2 people missing. WB6WNI is missing, apparently still on vacation, and of course W6PQL. And then Mike up there, WKB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, has gotten very intermittent on me as well. So we're missing quite a few people in the Bay Area. 2 are out completely out for vacations, and the rest of them are not getting into the shack to push the mic button. Hi. We'll see on the direct path, Paul. We'll see how that looks in about 5 minutes here. K6 Whiskey India Sugar A637, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Mike. Don't have any other traffic here, so 73s for now. We'll look out for you on the direct path. K6WIS is clear.
And 6RO.
And 6RO, good evening. You're sounding good.
Yeah, almost Zoom time, but Bozo 835, high temperature 88, and dinner is going to be the Costco chicken Caesar salad. with new lettuce in it. And one of my chief operators just won the NCCC ladder, sprint ladder tonight. He topped about 70 people. And the bad news from David was that he's got macular degeneration. He had his first shots today. So got to have the bad with the good, I guess, and 6RO.
Which one of your operators has been diagnosed with macular? Who?
It's Dave, WD6T.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, one good thing about macular, I think they can stop it, and they can actually reverse it. I think some forms of macular have been cured. My glaucoma is not in that category, but I think I'd rather have macular degeneration than what he has there. Over.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's scheduled for every month getting shots in both eyes, and lots of eye drops surrounding each visit. So I think he'll be okay. Hoping anyway. See you on Sunday in 6RO going to the TV.
Okay. Good evening, Ken, and we'll see you Sunday. Enjoy the weekend. Have fun. And your temperatures are way down. You said 88 today?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we were 100 or 98 at least, and I think it got to 100. Felt like 100. That seems like we're running about 10 degrees over yours. All right, 7-3. Take care. No chicken livers, just chicken salad. So, Rob, you can come back in and say hello to Ken if you like. KM6SRR, K6MYC. We also had WA6OIB here, and he went away also. Over. Ken, are you here? Well, I guess I pissed them both off tonight, Ken.
No, I think the football game is on.
Well, I don't know if that's it. I don't know if either one of them are football fans. Who knows?
I'll be watching it about 11 tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
756.
756, I hear you, and I'm not being pointed at you, so we got good propagation. Let me stop right there. I move a little bit in your direction, Darren. I got you written in here, but let me see if KD6WVL is here. 756. How about KD6 Whiskey Victor Lima? KD6WVL, John, are you here? Well, maybe he's watching the football game too. Anybody else before I go fully into Sacramento? Okay, right towards you there. This should be right on you there, Darren. KJ6KFB756, K6MYC, over.
Yeah, real rough coffee tonight, Mike. Don't know what's happening. I heard you're just barely squeaking in tonight. I don't know. Maybe turn around and peek on me, and who knows? It might be a bounce pass or some crazy thing. Kilo Juliet 6, Kilo Foxtrot Bravo 756.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, it's jumping all over the place. I went back and forth between 315 and 335. I'm at 333 right now, and you're peaking here. But it's all jerky and up and down and all that. Very funny QSB, the same stuff we've had the last week or so on all the bands. Anyway, we've got you in pretty strong signals in this direction. Over.
Well, hurry up, catch John before the pass disappears on us completely. KJ6KFB.
You're going to catch me on before what?
Oh, well, keep moving along and catch John before the band goes away.
Oh, yeah, it's moving. It's you're dispersed all over the place like I've seen from all the signals coming down the valley. That way I can point almost anywhere and hear you. All right, 7-3, Darren, thanks for popping out to the shack and checking in here. Have a good weekend. Walk the dog and the wife a lot, and then you'll have a little relief and coming back in on Monday and Tuesday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, over.
Oh, I hope so. Tomorrow I get to go work on my neighbor's lighting problem. He managed to screw a circuit up, and he has no lighting, overhead lighting in his kitchen and garage, so I got to go fix that.
Oh, okay.
What the rest of the week will bring. Anyway, well, hope to catch you Sunday night. KJ6, KFE.
Yeah, how are you doing with your tower there?
Just finished rewiring it. We're going to audit it probably tomorrow or Saturday. And then it's going to be working on a raising fixture for the mast. That's what's next.
Yeah, okay. Wiring, okay.
Yeah, I do want that, how should I say, motor up, motor down, instead of the old-fashioned way of cranking it with my hand.
Oh, I thought you had that working weeks ago.
I did, and then I rewired something and blew something up. What can I say? I shouldn't have been out there working that day because my head wasn't on the right subject.
Okay. I thought something happened because you should have had that finished up long ago. All righty. Well, good luck with it. KJ6KFB, K6MYC, and we'll go over to Meadow Vista. Well, that should be way past Meadow Vista. Let's see. KR6MR or K6MYC?
Yeah, good evening, Mike. K6MYC and the group. KR6MR, Bozo 759. You're a little bit watery. You are watery. Over.
Yeah, you're pretty watery too, but everybody's watery tonight, over.
Yeah, my eyes are watering as well. Hi.
And I'm being hit pretty hard with Beal also. I probably should put the blanker on. It might take some of that out. Okay, well, I put the blanker on. Didn't seem to make any difference. Boy, you're just, I find you and then you disappear on me. It's just all really spotty. Anyway, 73s, thanks for climbing the stairs and checking in there, John. KR6MR, have a good weekend. K6MYC, Bozo Net. Anybody else in this direction, please, over?
Yeah, this is Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar on the direct path. Mike here, 5x5.
Yeah, much steadier here, Paul, over.
Well, the band is cooperating at this particular minute, but a couple of minutes and you might QSB fade, over.
Yeah, give me a little more chatter. I want to be able to go back and forth on you and see if it's staying in one place or moving around, over.
Okay, you were S6 at that stage. Yeah, we had a pretty warm day, not as warm as yesterday. It got up to about 96 or 97 degrees. Yesterday was 100 degrees. It's cooling down. We got some high-level clouds here, cirrus clouds protecting us from the sun a little bit. So how do you copy me now? K6MYC, K6WIS, over?
Yeah, a little bit of QSB, but I've got you steady, but I'm pointed clear up at 356, 354 degrees. Normally you're at 344 or 340. So it's the path is bent, it seems, or I'm out of calibration, one or the other, over.
Yeah, okay. Well, your QSB fading, you're going from an S6 down to about an S1.
and then coming back up again. So that's usual on the direct path. How copy me? Over.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing that big a swing on you. You're quite steady. I can hear the QSB, but it's very minor, not affecting readability at all. And I'm not hearing the background noise change either, so it may be just the speed of my AGC, and maybe it's holding the noise out. Anyway, thanks for checking on the direct path here. Much better, probably 10 dB stronger on this path than the bounce path tonight, but I really didn't look for the best peak on you there. Take care, have a fun weekend, and we'll see you. You might just give me a call on Sunday night if you're around, and let me know you're still that the station still works on 2 meters there. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, Placerville area, K6 MYC.
Okay, thanks, Mike, for the check in the QSO. You were peaking S7, but then the end of your transmission you dropped down to S1, so big QSB swings. So 73s for now from Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar near Placerville.
Okay, 7-3 there, Paul. Fine on the signal report and the QSB. 7-3, K6 MYC. Have a good one. Anybody else before I go to Nevada? K6 MYC. Okay, I'm coming back toward you. Was that 775? Is that you, Mike? KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6 MYC. Is that you, Mike? Well, let me go back up where I was then. QRZ, try it again, call again, over. I heard 7 something. I thought it was 755, but I'm not sure who it was. K6 MYC. Call again, over. Oh, 657. There you go. Well, let me get up into Nevada. I wasn't quite there. This should be closer. This should be a little better, Larry, over.
Roger. Yeah, a little bit farther west over, kind of messed up off when I heard your phone call you. But anyway, you're doing fine right now. Mike, over.
Now, this is pretty good. It's chopped up, but the signal strength is up. 657. Good evening, Larry. N7 Whiskey Tango. Good to hear you. K6 MYC, over.
Yeah, well, you're good and loud and clear now. About a 5 and 5, 55 here in Gardnerville, Nevada. And so, anyway, I heard Richard call me there just a minute ago, so he's out there also. This is for KD6BQ. N7, K6MYC, and 7WZ.
Okay, very good, Larry, and we'll stand by for Richard here. I should not have to move much. You guys are almost always in the same direction for me here. KD6BQ, K6MYC. Over, Richard. Yep, 249. Got your 249. You're strong enough for sideband, over.
They're 5 and 9 now, Mike, is from N7WZ. You're 5 and 9, and there's no reason why Richard can't talk to you.
Yeah, Richard's strong too, and you came up as well. So that the band's up and down. It's not great conditions, but at least we're getting some good signal strength at times, over.
Yeah, K6MYC, KD6BQ on sideband. How do you copy?
Oh, perfect copy, with a little margin even, so not bad. Thank you, Richard. And yeah, you were very strong on CW. I knew I would hear you on sideband as well. I don't know if Eric's in there, but you might just check and see if Eric's there tonight. He doesn't. I don't think I've ever heard him on 432. I think he has it, or he was going to have it, but I'm not sure if he's there or not. N7 Victor Alpha Zulu. KD6BQ in the group, K6MYC, over.
Yeah, he was planning on being here tonight, so give him a call while you're strong. He probably hears you.
Okay, N7 Victor Alpha Zulu, if you're there. N7 VAZ, K6MYC, over, Eric. 1193, I heard you. It's not quite Q5, but I hear you're 1193 in there. It's weak, but very obviously you're there, and I got to 1193. Thank you, Eric. Good to hear you here on 432. N7 Victor Alpha Zulu in the group, K6MYC, over. Okay, 7-3, let me see if I can get Daniel in here. KE7UQL, K6MYC. Go ahead, Daniel. Okay. Now, I'm not sure I'm pointing at you, but I'm not sure this thing hasn't slipped in its track somewhere here. But I've got you Q5, but very, very weak. Over. Yeah, I did not hear him come back even. Let's try it again. KE7UQL 272. 272. KE7UQL, KE7UQL, K6MYC, over. Wow. I wonder where his path is tonight, or maybe he's got the antennas pointed somewhere else or something. He's way down from you guys. N7WT and KD6BQ, you're way stronger than Daniel, and that's not normal. Over.
Yeah, Daniel Gibbons is calling in on a special antenna, and it's the N7WT.
Okay, tell me again about something about his antenna. Over. Yeah, you're just down at the moment, not quite readable. I guess he's having some problems with his 432 antenna. Anyway, no worries. We have him checked in. I just, normally he's stronger and has a good peak before the end here. All right, Larry, 73, Richard, and Eric, and Daniel. Have a good weekend, guys. Have a good weekend, and we'll look for you all on Sunday night. N7 VAZ, KD6BQ, N7 Whiskey Tango, and KE7UQL, K6MYC, 7373. Roger, 73, Richard.
9.
Okay, who was that?
KJ6TYO 1009.
Yeah, you were stronger than the Nevada guys for some reason. Good evening, Ron.
Good evening. I took the day off, so I thought, well, I'll try to get out here when I got home. So here we are, and good evening, Mike.
Okay, good evening. And a very nice signal here. I was going to turn the band, turn this over to Rob, but the signals were so flaky, I don't know. And I don't know where Ken went either. Ken and Rob must be off talking to each other, mumbling back and forth about me stepping on them from time to time. Net control can do that, by the way.
All righty, well, I'll let you carry on there and get on back to the guys out there. KJ6TYO 1009.
You're back to the what?
Let you get back out there to the boys, and have a good evening.
Oh, okay. Well, we're about done with the net. I worked everybody up in Nevada that we have, and I think we got the fellows in Sacramento. Don't think there's anybody else. I might go one more call into Sacramento for anybody that's unusual, that isn't normally in there. I haven't heard Dennis for quite some time on 432, and he's got an array and everything here. I'm surprised he doesn't check into the net. But he's sometimes ADD, and he can't wait for us to come around to his direction there. Anyway, 7-3, Ron, have a good weekend. Enjoy the weekend off. And we'll see you Sunday night, maybe, if you're still here. AJ6TYO, K6MYC, running back towards Sacramento.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Sacramento and points in between and beyond, QRZ, K6MYC, Bozo Net. Late checks are missed, over. Nothing heard. Let's go back to here. Right about in here, we should have KJ6KFB. No, that's, yeah, KB6KFB, K6MYC. Mike, are you here? Haven't heard Mike for a week or so now. Go further into the Bay Area. Late checks or missed, K6MYC, Bozo Net. Okay, nothing heard. Let's try this. AF6 United, if you're around there, Lee, late checks are missed for the Santa Cruz and Watsonville area, K6MYC. Okay, that's it. K6US, K6MYC.
Yes.
Somebody else talking in there. Who was that?
WNI.
Oh, is that Gary? I'll be darned. Gary's back. Okay, let me go back up and get you, Gary. Hang on. WB6, WNI. Go ahead, Gary.
So thanks, like I called when they're talking. I'm still eating dinner, believe it or not. Sorry, still eating dinner. When you were speaking with WIS and was it KA6? I'm trying to remember. MTV. I tried calling you and you didn't hear me, and I said, well, too much traffic, but I think it was nice and sunny. So I did not hear any QSB, but I guess conditions are not all that well. Back to you.
Oh, they're okay. They're a little unstable, but pretty good. And I boomed back on you. I missed a little bit of that because I was too far to the north, but here you are here. Let me see what the heading is tonight. Looks like 294. So this thing must be out of calibration again. You should be at 284 or 285. Anyway, great to hear you. Are you back from vacation?
No, we've had too many family obligations, way a lot. And then, not me, but my grandson has been sick quite a bit. I don't know. I scratch your head, you know what I mean? But you think, did my kids get sick this often? Well, maybe they did. We just put it off our heads. But, yeah, too many family things. So I'm not been able to make it as much as I used to when things were quiet. That's it.
Yeah, I'm only getting about readability 3 at the moment. You took a fade again. But I guess you had some family obligations here. We hadn't heard you for about a week, and I got the feeling that you had told me you were going on a vacation or something, but I must have misheard that. Anyway, good to have you back. Good to have you in here for late checks and missed. The other one that I haven't heard for quite a while now is KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. Mike over there in Daly City, he's missed, I think I worked him on Sunday night at the beginning of this week, and that was it. I'm not even sure about that. But he said he would be on 1296, and I didn't hear him there either. And I haven't heard him since, so maybe he's having dinner like you are. Go back and finish your dinner. I'm going to go get my dinner. Metz was late getting home, so he's probably got dinner ready by now, so I can go get mine. Hi. KB6, WB6, WNI, K6MYC. Go ahead, Gary.
Thank you, Mike. Have a nice dinner. Yes, I'm going to talk louder, but you have been Q5 the entire time, but I know the conditions are up and down. 73 for now.
Yeah, that was Q5, and it helps if you talk up a little bit. Thank you.
73.
73. Anybody else for the Bozo Net before we pull the cork? K6MYC. Over. Okay, this is K6MYC, Bozo 47 in Delta Mike 07, Delta Bravo, closing the 432.1 Bozo Net on August 20, 2026. Good night, all. Good night, Rob. Good night, Aaron. Good night, Ken, if you're there.
Good night, Mike. We'll catch you on 2 meter on Sunday, K6US.
Okay, Rob, you done with dinner there? Are you upstairs, or where are you?
Aaron, you have a minute? You want to go outside?
I didn't get that, John. You're probably turned away from me. Let me have a little more chatter, and I'll see if I can find a peek on you, John. Go ahead. It was John, right? Well, I heard somebody say something. Who was that, Aaron?
Yeah, John was trying to call me, so you can sign off.
Oh, okay. 73. Good evening, John. Have a good weekend. See you guys. K6MYC going that way.
Yeah, good night, Mike. And stand by, John. I'll cut the YouTube guys loose here in a second, and then we can just stay right here.
I assume that Rob's...